Sonos Beam 2, the next big thing in home entertainment. Looking at the long list of failed sophomore albums that have followed blistering debuts shows that there is a following up and a successful sound with something more mature and complicated is a tricky business. However, this is the task that Sonos' latest soundbar, the Beam Gen 2, has taken on, and it seeks to replace the popular original while also upping the ante by offering immersive Dolby Atmos support in the same small package. The Beam Gen 2 has big and conversely small shoes to fill to impress us, as we are huge fans of the original Beam Gen 1. Nevertheless, the 3.0 channel soundbar has won the What Hi-Fi Award for the best soundbar in its price category every year since its release in 2018. The key to its success has been the simplicity of its design and streamlined functionality, which has enabled it to overcome two of the typical limitations of compact speakers: sonic scale and weight. Let's find out more about this in today's video. Make sure to subscribe to Techonic for more such uploads. Here we begin. Features. The top surface features of the same touch-sensitive buttons, LEDs, and far-field microphones for Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant voice control as the original Beam. Power, Ethernet, and HDMI AIRC sockets, as well as a connect/reset push button, are located in the back of the cable cove. The Beam Gen 2 now has a matching cover to finish the soundbar, as well as a color complementary HDMI and power cord. Our test sample is white, and the bright cables draw a bit of attention to themselves in our rather gray test room, but those with lighter spaces prone to wall mounting may appreciate it. There aren't many soundbars at this price point that have networking capabilities, but because this is a Sonos product, the ability to integrate into a wireless multi-room system is fundamental to its design. This means you'll need the Sonos S2 app to make the most of your purchase and connect it to the internet. While your TV remote can control the volume, the app is where you'll find TruePlay, a 2-band EQ, and confirmation of which audio codec you're currently receiving. It's also required if you want to connect it to other Sonos products to create a surround system. Because it has Wi-Fi, you can stream the BGM2 for a handheld device using Apple AirPlay 2, and Spotify Connect is also built in. A future update will add support for Amazon Music Ultra HD audio, allowing access to lossless 24-bit/480 kHz tracks, as well as Dolby Atmos music. How does it sound? The question we were most interested in was, does the Beam Gen 2 justify the $50 price increase over the original Beam? The most straightforward answer is yes. The goal of any home cinema system, Atmos or otherwise, is to create a sound bubble. The Beam accomplishes this despite all of its speakers being housed in a single enclosure. When compared to the original Beam, the Gen 2 was able to generate more atmosphere. For example, Mad Max Fury Road flung effects all around and seemingly from behind me, quite a feat without physical rears. The original Beam also had a large bubble, but the sound was more focused on the front of the room. However, neither speaker was able to produce above-the-head effects, such as those seen in the scenes where the little girl asks, "Where are you?" The Gen 2 has a clearer sound than the original, which helps to make TV shows more understandable and adds airiness when watching movies. While the sound of the Beam changes when you connect it to a sub, giving the impression of an instant upgrade, the Gen 2 sounds more like a sub-connected Beam all the time, whether the sub is turned on or off. I also compared the Gen 2 to a multi-speaker Atmos system in the same price range, the Vizio M512AH6. Again, the Vizio provides excellent music and movie replay, clearly aided by the original and included subwoofer. We started with Turnstile's Alien Love Call, which features Blood Orange, and found that the unusually psychedelic track was suitably swirly on the Vizio, with the quick and fast kick drum. The track also performed admirably on the Beam, where the swirliness complemented the speaker perfectly, and while the bass was not as deep, the vocals were clearer. Then we moved on to the audiovisual marvel that is 1917 and Dolby Atmos. While it could provide a sense of height, the Beam couldn't compete with Vizio in terms of surround effects because it was a front-only system. For example, the flares that flew overhead at 1 hour 8 minutes did not move from the front to back. On the other hand, the pings of rifle shots as our hero runs deeper into the ruins had a greater sense of urgency on the Beam. The Beam was keeping up so far, but when we fed them both a meaty soundtrack, the lobby shootout scene from The Matrix, the Vizio shone. The ambience was better, the immersion was better, and we could only hear the synth-based soundtrack the entire time, whereas on the Beam it only peeked through occasionally. So if you care about home theater oomph, the Vizio is the way to go. Price. The Sonos Beam Gen 2 costs £449, which is slightly more expensive than the original Beam, which costed £399. However, this disparity is consistent with the company's prices increase across many of its products as a result of the COVID pandemic. The new Beam is the middle product in Sonos' 3-strong soundbar lineup, priced significantly lower than the Arc, which currently costs £899, and just above the Ray, which costs £279. If you want to use the Beam Gen 2 in a larger surround system, you can add two 1SL rear speakers for £358, and if necessary, a sub for £699. Other compact Dolby Atmos soundbars in this price range are scarce. There's LG's offering, the petite but unimpressive Eclair, which has upward drivers but is more expensive at £700, Sony's HT-G700 for £399, which has a virtual Atmos effect but is much larger and, like the Eclair, lacks connectivity to the network. That's another option. Should you purchase it? The Beam 2 is $449, $50 more than the original Beam. Nonetheless, this is Sonos' most affordable option for creating a basic home theater. This is especially true now that Sonos has raised the prices of its entire line of speakers. The Arc, for example, is now $900. Having used both, the Beam 2 is adequate for all but the most discerning audiophile. Another advantage of Sonos' system is that you can gradually expand it over time if you're willing to spend a lot of money. You are only required to purchase a subwoofer if you are ready to do so. If you upgrade later, the Sonos sub will set you back $749. What do you think about the Sonos Beam 2? Would you purchase it? Let us know in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe for more to get future updates and hit the bell notification icon